The difficulty is if you don't have insurance, your spouse is in a nursing home, and you don't have enough income, annual income, to keep up with that and your own living. Before you can become eligible for any assistance through Medicaid, you have to spend down, they call it the spousal spend down rule, where you have to spend down your combined assets down to $113,000 plus your house plus your car. And that's all you can have left before you are eligible for Medicaid. If you do spend yourself down that far, that's not very much asset base to live on for the spouse that's not in the nursing home anymore. And if the state comes in and starts paying for that spouse's stay, in the future when both spouses are gone, the state files a lien against your estate and tries to come after what they paid for. So it virtually leaves nothing for the kids. And it's really stressful on the spouse. Terribly. We've been through, unfortunately, numerous instances in which a couple did not have any long-term care insurance, and they ended up spending themselves down all the way down to the $113,000 and becoming eligible for Medicaid. It's not a good situation.
I oftentimes diagram it for them, and I put down today's date. For example, I would say, if you were to transfer every bit of property you have today to your children, this would be the date that you would become first eligible for Medicaid. People say, well, what happens if I have to go in a nursing home in the meantime? The answer is a very simple answer, but sometimes is one of those answers that kind of hits them right between the eyes, and you have to tell them, you're going to have to figure out a way to pay for it. Their answer generally is, well, I can't. I don't have any assets left. And I said, well, then your children are going to have to pay for it, because your children received the benefit of all your property and your assets. And quite frankly, children have a responsibility to provide for the care of their parents. And I've often met with kind of a stunned silence from people and think, well, Plan A just went down the tubes. So what's Plan B? Well, Plan B can have a number of components, and then you start out with those planning components that might work for those people. One of which I always discuss with them is perhaps you need to take a look at some long-term care insurance.